Well, now that Christmas is over, we can finally get back to actually getting something done. Finally had to break down and buy a new set of rear tires for the 1600 because the inner sidewall on the right hand tire's got a big old bulge where the inner height of the tire is pushing out through the sidewall. It's only going to be a matter of time before it pinches the tube, and it's either going to go while I'm out in the field somewhere, or it's going to go down here in the barn one night, and I'm going to go down there and there's going to be a flat tire on the tractor. So I called up to a tire place in Dowagiac just north of here, because Morley told me they've been getting pretty good prices on farm tires up there, and he wasn't kidding, because I got a set of, I'm going up a tire, well, down but up a tire size. It's got 15.538s on it right now. I'm going to go to 18.434 since we're putting a loader on it. Those centers are heavier than the 38 or than the light 38-inch centers. But I got 18.434 Firestone 23-degree Super All Tractions that are bias ply, not radial, but this tractor's not going to see a whole lot of field work and road running anymore. Once we get the loader on it, it's mostly going to be used for a loader tractor, so I don't really need radials on it for working for field work or anything anymore. So I just went with the bias plies, and they were $600 a tire. So tires have actually come down, because they were pricing out almost $800, $800 to $900 a tire this time last year. So I gotta get the old studs out of the centers, because I got new studs for it, and they're an AGCO only part. We call our bolts, or Dad called his bolt supplier, and they can't, or he looked in all his books and could not find a coarse thread to coarse thread stud. So they're, I think it was $2.10 a piece from AGCO, which ain't terrible. There's only 16 of them. So I got all that. I'm putting, because these are the old rims off my 1955, so I'm putting all that hardware back on it. So it's getting the clamp-on eyelets, or clamp-on dual eyelets back on it. I actually, when we first got this tractor, I had a wheel come loose, or a rim come loose on me. Come to find out, all the, there was 4 clamps that were, I don't know if you could see it, it's cracked on both sides because somebody had over tightened them in. This one's, you can see it real good. Perfect time for the air compressor to go off. But yeah, so that one's actually broke clean in half on this side, so there wasn't a whole lot holding it back together. So went to a junkyard probably 5-6 years ago and got new clamps for it. We went up to 38-inch wheels instead of 34s on it. So they never got used, but now they're going to get used. So got to get that done. But I'm going to start off wire brushing the rims, because we're going to mount the new tires tubeless, because you can't buy good tractor or good farm tubes anymore. They're all Chinese junk. And I talked to him about it when I was asking. I talked to the guy up at the tire place about it, or about tubes. He's like, yeah, you can get some natural rubber tubes that hold up pretty decent, but they're $250 a tube. I was like, yeah, we'll just go tubeless. So and I'm not too worried about it, because these rims actually are not original Oliver rims. somebody at some point bought some aftermarket ones for it, and they're either unverfurths or something. So these rims are actually in really good shape, so there shouldn't be any problem getting the beads to seal up. Just gonna clean them up, shoot a coat of primer on them, and call it square. Do have to on this rim. Where's that? Oh, clear down there. Either gonna have to put a little bit of Bondo in it, or do some welding or something, because there's a little bit of pitting around this valve stem on the inside, which ain't no big deal. Just put a little bit of weld on it, grind it off, so because this rim's actually got 2 valve stem holes in it, and depending on how I mount it, which one we're going to use, but they make a plug for those valve stems, or valve stem holes, and got to put one of those in there, but it needs a good surface to seal on. Well, rims are done, except for paint, and I gotta. This one cleaned up pretty good. The paint on this one was in a lot better shape. Apparently, there toward the end when I was still running these, the tire on this side must have had a leak in it. So the tires were loaded on this thing when we got it. So apparently that's the reason this one was kind of scuzzy. But it won't take much to fix that, because it's still good on the outside. It's just the inside's a little pitted. I gotta had to open the stinking doors in here to get the rust to get out of here. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the floor swept up real quick so I'm not tracking that paint dust all over, and start working on the centers. Well, I was afraid I was going to have to get the torch and heat these things, but I just took that one out with vice grips, so I guess we'll see if they all do that. Nope. 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 Yeah, I'm just gonna get the dang torch. I just hope we get enough argon left, because the gauge is only showing about 20 pounds. Hoping I don't have to pour a whole lot of heat into them. Ain't that crusty, so. Oh, don't be like that. Well, it's going to be difficult. Well, I figured out what I got to do. You got to heat it up. Get the vice grips on it and smack the crap out of it with a hammer to bust the rust loose and it spins out. Part of the problem is this casting's so big that it soaks up the heat so fast it doesn't really do it. I mean, it does a little bit of good, but not a lot. If you can get it right there where the tip is, you can get it cherry red. Then almost as soon as you take the flame off of it, the rest of the casting that you can't get heat to soaks it all up, and the red goes away almost instantly. Come on. You're going to have one difficult one. Okay, two difficult ones, because that first one, there it goes. These studs needed changed anyway, because every one of them I'm taking out's been bent because somebody over tightened them. Well, that one's ready. Well, naturally, I get one stud into that one because one of them spun out on its own, but I get one stud into that one and I run out of acetylene. And I screwed up and called that tank argon earlier, and that's not right. Use argon on a welder. So, I guess as far as today goes, I'm done working on those, so get them out of the way, get everything swept up, bring some cardboard up and get those shot with some primer, I guess. Well, I got 2 coats shot on them. Didn't take any video doing the second coat, 'cause with these glasses you can't see the wet line, which with that color primer you can hardly see it to begin with. So, but I shot it with some Nason acrylic sandable primer that we had left over from when we were working on the fuel tank fenders on my 19. So I'm not actually going to do any sanding, but the nice part about that is it goes on, because it's sandable, it goes on nice and thick. So that'll kind of help with sealing the tires up too. I'm contemplating putting a 3rd coat on there, but let it dry for a little while longer and see how things look from there. But I guess the next step's going to be getting the tires down here and get them on. So we will come back when those get here.